So here we are at the end of day 4 of a 5-day UN habitat training on program evaluation. And I have some folks here with me who are going to summarize the day. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Adris Waiba from west of Nairobi.
From Nairobi. And where's Nairobi, in case who's ever watching this has no idea?
In Kenya, in East Africa.
Kenya, East Africa. Okay. And
my name is Safula from west of Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay. And
my name is Gadi and UN Habitat and the coordinator of One Stop Center, Salaam Tanzania.
Tanzania. Yeah. And
my name is Immaculate. I'm the UNEP for Kampala One Stop Center. I'm from Kampala.
So we have a lot of wisdom here. We have Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya represented. Okay, so we're just going to very informally summarize the day. And one of the first things that we talked about was we finished talking about indicators. And what are indicators?
Indicators are those things which are measures outcomes in evaluation.
Right, exactly. And we also talked about something called outputs. Remember what outputs are? To be fair, we're saying this is the end of the day 4, but actually people who are watching this, we didn't do it yesterday, so they're having to remember stuff they did yesterday. We're actually at the end of day 5. So what are outputs? If I want to know the number of youth who went to the meetings, the number of trainings that were held, the number of partners you have, what are those called?
Results. These are results that can also be of help in measuring the outcomes.
Yeah, they're part of what measures the outcomes, and they're a special kind of result. Do you remember what they're called? It's not an indicator, it's the things that are attached to numbers are outputs. Yay! Okay, and then we talked about activities. And are activities kind of the hobbies and things you do when you're hanging out?
These are things that you do for the program.
Yeah, they're the things that make the outputs and the indicators happen. Right, so what would be an example of an activity?
Conducting a training.
Yeah, holding a training, exactly.
Dissemination of information, dissemination and the gathering of information.
Great, yeah, excellent. Okay, and then we also talked about what are some other things that you want to know. And what's the name of the framework that we've been using? When you put all this stuff together, you're creating a PLM, which stands for what?
Program logic model.
Right, a program logic model. And sometimes the stuff that we want to know, we want an evaluation to tell us, doesn't fit in a PLM. So we talked about some things that you might want to know that don't fit. And who else might want to know some things that don't fit into a PLM? Do you remember?
The stakeholders?
Yeah, and a particular kind of stakeholder. Maybe the youth.
Yes.
Who else? Maybe what's the one that holds the money? What are they called? The donors. Yeah. Sometimes the donor wants to know things that aren't included in the PLM. So you can make sure to capture those things, right? But you have to ask them. You have to ask the donor what they want to know. Be clear about that. Okay. And the last thing we talked about was disseminating the results, the distribution plan. What does that mean?
Is sharing the result with the stakeholder.
Right. And what's an example stakeholder that you could share your results with?
The donors.
The donors, right.
Beneficiaries.
Who are the beneficiaries for you? The youth, right. Now, why do you have to plan the dissemination or the distribution plan ahead of time? Why do you have to do that ahead of time? You think? You've named 2 different people you might want to share your results with, the donors and the youth. Do you think that how you share your results for youth would look exactly the same as how you share it with the United Nations, for example? No, it'd be very different. Yeah.
Because for the UN it is detailed.
Yeah.
And for the youth it's just simple, what they understand, what they need to know.
Yeah. So if you have your plan ahead of time, you know you're going to give your results to the UN and the youth, how does that help you? You think? Does it help you figure out how to write up your results?
Yes.
Yeah. It helps you figure out how to write the report. Because if you know who it's going to, then probably they'll have a better chance of reading it. You all look very serious. They've worked so hard. Anyone who's watching this, they've been working so hard. They haven't had time to stop and eat and sleep night and day and working on evaluation. Anything else you want to say about yesterday, day 4? No, they want to go have their tea. We didn't have a tea break today, so okay. Well, thank you very much. Everyone who's watching this video, give them a round of applause. Yeah! Okay. Thanks, everyone.